Okay, so today was day 4.
Today is
Wednesday, May 1st, 365 days till we're married.
Uno más año.
364 days till we're married.
Go play. Go play. I'll be over in a minute. Love you. Okay, so let's see. The stinging day. We had gotten to this village, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was a bumpy ride there. And then it was the week that Bailey was in my group. And we were sitting around because I guess the kids weren't even supposed to go to school that day because it was their Labor Day, but they were going to come in because we were there. Bailey asked me if I would go to the bathroom with her, and so I was like, duh, sure, I always go to the bathroom with everybody. It's just a girl thing. But, so I was like, yeah, I'll go. So we walked up this like super, like kind of steep hill for a walk to the bathroom. It was crazy. And at this moment in time, we don't have a great track record with hills and going to the bathroom. So, at least it was uphill this time. But so we finally get up there, and it's this like, I wouldn't even call it a wooden shack because it was missing a door, and you could see through all the slats in the wood, and it was just a little rough.
Okay, this is my latrine. These are dead wasps' nests.
We hope.
And that looks like a current nest of some sort.
Should we see what's in it?
No.
I'm outside, like, just looking around at, like, the landscape and stuff, and I see her bolt out of that bathroom at, like, 90 miles an hour, screaming at the top of her lungs. And, you know, when your friend runs out of a bathroom screaming at the top of her lungs, the first thing that comes to your head is, oh, we're playing a game. So I thought to myself, this is fun, you know, like, why are we running and screaming? So she runs this way running and screaming, and so I run this way down the other hill running and screaming. And she's like swatting at her hair and like going like this with her shirt. And I was like, what is she doing? And then I see the four wasps like following her. And I was like, oh no. And so I immediately turned from laughing because I was cracking up loud. I turned from laughing to like, this is real and that probably looks like it hurts. Like, I'm sorry. And she's like, get it out of my hair. And I was like, ah. And so I'm like going like this, like barely touching it, trying to get it to get out. And one of the translators comes over and he's like shaking her hair. So that was good. He was there. And it must have flown out because we didn't see it in there. And so then we look and she's like, my head's throbbing. And so she sits on the floor and she was crying reasonably. You can kind of see it in the video. Oh, the one on your side. Do you want to show that one too? Is it that side?
It's under my bra.
Oh, it got you twice.
Are you kidding?
No, I got you right here and then up here.
Yeah.
And Shauna came over and was like looking at it and making sure the stingers weren't left in there. And then she was like, you'll be okay, like just, you know, like take a minute. And so she mainly tried to calm down outside, and there was a lot of people watching. It was just a lot to take in at the time, and so she went and sat in the back of the van. So then Shauna went and checked on Bailey in the car, and she came out, and Bailey was a freaking trooper. Excuse me. And ended up doing her teach with 6 stings. And one of the older guys from the village, he was like maybe like 60, we didn't notice, but he like left when he realized that it happened, and he like walked down to his house and like, I don't even know how far it was, and he went and got like this little bag with a cotton ball in it, and I think it was alcohol, like not like drinking alcohol, like for wounds, and he brought it back so that we could like put it on her head. And I was like, that was so sweet, because like we didn't ask him to do anything like that. He just chose to, and it was super sweet. And so like the next day we wake up and we're like going swimming, and we look at her like stings, and they look like they were like scratched at, like she'd like been sitting there with no like fake nails or anything, just like real nails, and like scratching at them. And we were like, what the heck? And it looked funky. But that is the time that my best friend got stung when she was in the bathroom going pee in Honduras. good memories.
Like, okay, if these kids pee in this, like, so can I. I was like, these ones look dead, I just won't touch that one because that's what they probably do, and like, just get over it, don't be such a baby. So I go in there, and sure enough, the second I step foot in there, 5 wasps come after me. So I have 4 wasp stings, one like right on my temple, one up here, one like right where my bra touches, so that one's really agitated, and then one like under my armpit. And it really freaked me out. It hurt really bad. They were like throbbing, and so I thought there were more wasps in my hair and in my shirt, and so I like ran down to where everybody else was, and I was like screaming, and I didn't scream the whole way down, but I was like, get him off, get him off, get him off. And Grace was with me, and so she kind of told me what had happened. She said I fell on the ground. I don't remember any of that. I was just so concerned about getting him off. And so that was really kind of scary. I kind of hyperventilated a little bit just because I couldn't get a grip. And then I was just like overwhelmed. Like, I've never been stung before. Like, I know people get stung all the time, but it was just really scary because it was so many at once. And so I got a little bit scared, and so I went out into the van, and I just like needed to have some alone time for a little bit. So I just cried for a little bit, and then all the the
Translator.
Yeah, the translators and stuff were like, oh, there's something on my eye. I get PTSD now.
Oh, it's a bug.
There's gonna be bugs. We have the only light for like a couple feet.
20 feet.
And so we they kept coming up to the van, and one guy ran to his house and brought me antiseptic, and that was so sweet because I literally had some in my backpack, but he just wanted to help. And so it was so nice. I told him thank you so many times. Elvis was like, do you feel like you have a fever? I was like, no. And he goes, okay, well, if you do feel like you have a fever, there's a pond just down the street, and we'll go jump in that pond so we can keep your fever down. I was like, I think I'm fine. Popped some Tylenol. More than anything, I just needed to calm myself down. Shauna came and was like, is it better for you to be alone or with somebody? I was like, honestly, alone. She was like, okay, well, you just do what you gotta do. And I wound up, I love Shauna. But she was like, what do you usually take when you have a panic attack? And I wasn't really having a panic attack. I just was escalating toward one. But I really wanted to go do my teach, and I really didn't want to miss out on anything. And I knew it was going to take me a while to calm down. So I went ahead and I took like a quarter, and I just took a deep breath and jumped right back in, got down there just in time for my teach, and I did it. And everybody was really impressed. So that made me feel a lot stronger after being at such a weak point and like crying in front of everybody and screaming because I was getting chased by wasps.
4 wasps.
So 5 wasps.
4 stings.
4 wasp stings. But it was really sweet. The teacher they have these baggies full of juice, and I guess they freeze them the night before maybe, and then they bring them to school for the kids. And so she brought me 2 of these popsicles, and so I put a popsicle here and a popsicle in my bra, and I did the teach with one in my bra and then set the one on my head down. So it went really well, and I was just really happy that I was able to do that and toughen up through, like, you know, one of the points where I usually don't get to feel very tough. So that was good. And we didn't really, it was really good. And there were just so many people who reached out and were so sweet. And yeah, I took almost every adult's blood pressure, which was really fun. And then we wound up not even doing very many house visits because I had already covered it because we still were going through kids, but I had the adult cuff. So I would do the bigger kids, but there weren't any more bigger kids, so I just told the adults to come over and sit by me, and I would take their blood pressure, so that kind of felt good too. So that was my day.
Nice. We went to a school, and there was like 20 kids, 25 kids, and we all did our teaches, and we finished up probably about 12 or 12:30, and then one of the dads asked, he was kind of embarrassed, but he eventually asked if we would come to his house and do an assessment on his wife that was pregnant. And he said it was about a 30-minute walk up the hill, up the mountain. And he was scared to ask us just because it was so far away, but we said, freak yeah, brother. And we got in the van and started trekking up there. And it was probably like a 30 or 40-minute drive until we ran out of road, and then we hiked up a really steep mountain for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the sun. It was really hot. But we got up there, and this is her 8th baby, I think. 7th or 8th. How's it going? Go, Mia, go. Run, run, run. Correr. Más rápido. Muy bien. Hey, you're doing a great job. Good job, Liz. She was 6
Can you
months
imagine having 8 babies out here?
at the top of the mountain, so like
We're all
even more.
8, like with her? Like, are they all still alive?
I counted 7
Okay.
or 6. Yeah, 6, and then
Okay.
she was pregnant with this current one.
Do you know how old her oldest was?
11
Okay.
and 8, and then the other 2 are small, and a little girl.
Okay.
And another baby coming.
Dang.
I think one was either not at the house or somewhere in the back, or probably not still there. But she got checked up by all the girls, and I was outside with the kids and the other men. And we hung out, and there was a cute dog.
Elena got to do a Leopold's maneuver
And
check
Doppler.
Doppler,
Got
and
the
she
heart rate.
successfully found the fetal heart tones, and so that was really cool for her. She
Very
was really
exciting.
emotional about that, which is so sweet.
It was a really good time.
I'm really looking forward to going to the mother and infant clinic. That's going to hands down be my favorite, I think.
Yeah. But it was fortunate that we went up there and said, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Because we didn't, instead of having lunch, we just said, let's go, and went up there and did it. And it was fortunate because she missed her, they only get like 4 checkups during the whole pregnancy because it's so far away. And she missed her April one. And today's May 1st, so it was, she was supposed to go on the 22nd of April, and she missed it. So we like,
The Lord provides.
within like a week and a half, we were there to do it for her.
That's super
And
cool.
everything was good. Looked really good. I gave all my snacks to all the kids there.
That's so sweet.
Yep. And then we hiked back down, and then rode down back to the school. And then we found out that we did have house visits to do, so we drove back up the mountain.
Oh shoot, I didn't know about this part.
And then instead of going left and up, we went right and up to another person's house, and we did an assessment on this lady, and it was her birthday,
Aww.
actually. So she was 60 today. So we just got back in the van and got home about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and had lunch. And then we went to the river and washed our hair in the waterfall.
That was so fun.
It was very fun.
That was probably one of the coolest things, I think.
Yeah, I actually felt kind of clean since we couldn't take showers because we don't have any water.
During my teach today, I asked for I said, who's really good at cooking? And I kid you not, this 3-year-old tiny little boy raised his hand. He goes, yo. Just everybody busted up laughing. And then also during our teach, Caleb asked.
I was going to say that next.
Go for it. You tell it. I mean, you weren't there, but like still tell it.
I'll tell it for the comedic timing.
Yeah.
Caleb asked, all right, can anybody name some fruits that they like? And they said a bunch of different fruits. And then a little boy says,
Mango.
in Spanish, mango,
Which is still mango.
which is, I guess, mango in Spanish. And Caleb goes, ooh,
Baño. I look him dead in the eyes and I go, Caleb, that's a bathroom. That's pretty much all we have for today. Pretty easy day, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you guys had a really
I
off.
We were going so steep that I broke the headrest, I think, in the van,
yeah.
trying to hold on.
There's
for dear
like
life.
3 headrests that are broken. It's so funny.
Because we were going like this steep, and I was holding onto the headrest, and I pulled like all of the foam out of it.
That's so
So,
funny. But
That
that's
was
all.
today.
We'll see you tomorrow.